Hey, everybody, this is Tamiya Robles. Welcome to Coast Credit Podcast. I am the owner of FixMyCreditNow850.com. I am a credit repair specialist, among other things that I do. But my main thing is, if you don't know, I am a credit repair specialist. Today, I have a guest that I have been chasing down for some time. It's
You
Steve.
finally got me. You
I
finally
finally
got me.
got so, Steve, why don't you introduce yourself? This is Steve
All right, sure.
Palmieri.
So thank you to my Stephen Palmieri, and I
Oh,
also run a credit repair company and help folks with their financials, taxes, accounting. But been doing credit repair since 2008. I've had dozens of clients sent out to the bureaus, the creditors, so kind of know how the game is played. And to Maya, we've known each other through the Facebook world for a few years, and
yeah.
you were chasing me down finally, guys. She was like literally banging on my front door. She's like, "Look, you're going to be on a podcast with me." So here we are, Tamai. I'm glad you didn't let me die off, and you chased me. I'm glad to be here. So tell me what's on your mind today. Let's talk finance.
Yes, let's talk finance. Let's talk credit. Let's talk your software. So let's start off, if you're okay, let's start off talking about your software because that's how I knew you. Okay. So I'll start by saying several years ago, I guess a couple years ago, I was using a particular software. I was flip-flopping through secure software that I use, and I fell in love with one, but then I think they got bought out and then they just changed their whole dynamic and it sucks. Then found somebody else, but one of my students, well, my former students said, you word on the street is this guy named Steve is the truth. Like he literally was telling me, he's like, this guy is the truth. He's creating this software that is so different than everybody else. What are you doing now? I like at the time, I think I just started doing Metro 2. That's what I was doing. I was disputing that
Yeah.
way. Because prior to that, it was a standard 609, 611 crap, you know. So I was like, okay, let me check them out, but I couldn't find you because I kept misspelling your last name.
I know that's the problem with naming the software after me. So the software is Palmieri System. You can go to
Oh my
palmierisystemdemo.com
god.
and see a little video. But yeah, I mean, basically, it's actually a very simple software, as you know, Tamaya. But for those of you guys watching, anybody who wants to generate really good dispute letters, that's why I built it, because there's a lot of credit repair softwares out there, and they're really more like CRMs. They're kind of like client flow management and contact management systems, but a lot of them don't really create very good letters. Or if they do, like now you've got all this AI stuff coming out, but you still never know what you're going to get. So I created, kind of like to fill in for the business model for credit repair folks or even consumers. If you want to use it, it lets you it works off of templates, which is really cool. So you can control what your letters say, and pulls in your credit monitoring, and it lets you put the data from all three reports in your letter. And I mean, that may not sound pretty amazing, and it's actually not pretty amazing, but it was revolutionary when I built the system, because like literally there was no software that let you, if you wanted to generate a factual letter and say, hey, my Capital One is reporting balance 500, 500, 750, date open October 1st, October 1st, October 18th. There was nothing in the marketplace that would actually like just instantly let you merge in all that factual data from all three reports and into one letter. And you had mentioned Metro too. For those who may not know, credit reporting, the law requires that the bureaus maintain reasonable procedures to assure maximum possible accuracy. So the credit bureaus created an industry standard format. Basically, all thousands of furnishers that report the data, they use this standardized format. And so all the data fields are the same, and how they should be reporting is the same. And so when you look at the three reports and they're all different, although it's true that Experian does not have to look like TransUnion like directly, they're separate companies. When you look at it from the perspective of although they're separate companies, they both have adopted and created and conformed to the same exact industry standard. And then when you consider that data comes from the furnisher, say Capital One pushes it out to the bureaus. Well, then you have to ask yourself, why do they look different, right? Because if it originates from one push out by the furnisher and it's all three bureaus receive the same batch or the same format, from that perspective, you would think one report should look like the other report. So, if you're looking to put a good dispute letter, I mean, we definitely don't want to overthink it. We want to keep it simple, but we want to keep it factual, and so my system really helps you to create good, solid, factual letters. Hey, the data is reporting, and here it is, merging it into your letters. And so, yeah, I think that's where we know each other, Tamiya. I also
Mhm.
have a training course for credit repair professionals. I think you may have been in that for a period.
Yes. Mhm.
I started that, and then I created the software around that, and but yeah. So that's kind of that. So if anybody wants more information, feel free to reach out to Tamiya or me. And we'll chat. But so Tamiya, but you've been doing credit for how long now yourself?
Oh my gosh, it's several years now. I want to say I think it's been about 6 years, and I can't believe
Okay.
how quickly time has gone by because 6 years I feel old. Like it's just like 6 years, but yeah, it's been about 6 years now. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
getting back to your software because not we're gonna keep moving, but
Yeah.
just to respond to what you were saying, I don't think people understand the importance of creating your own dispute letters. Being a factual disputer, like there's different types of credit repair specialists, and I try to tell people that all the time. I am specifically a factual disputer. So I'm not writing generic letters and begging people to overturn things. I'm
Right.
taking the what's under the FCRA and looking at your rights under the FCRA, seeing how the bureaus are reporting. In most cases, they're reporting inaccurately. And I need
Right.
a certain type of letter that way. And your software to me was perfect because I could it copied my own style anyway, and it would just pull up accounts, show everything that's wrong, show the facts, and you just move on. And I love that because what I was doing at the time, everything was manual and it was just taking up a lot of my time. So it
Yeah.
was perfect. So that part. So I do, like I stated before we started, I do have people that are interested in being credit repair specialists. They are looking for software. I do teach, I offer it, but I don't have offer software. So we'll leave a link in the description if anybody wants to purchase your software, correct?
Yeah. Sounds good to me. Absolutely.
Excellent. Oh,
Let's do it.
excellent.
Let's do
Now,
it.
do taxes and bookkeeping. And can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because a lot of the people need that as well.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I started as an entrepreneur in the financial space in 2008 doing credit repair. And, from that, I had worked with a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs. And, I saw that they had issues with cash flow. And so the bookkeeping was kind of the next natural progression of just learning how to be able to provide kind of a full solution, because people would come, they're like, hey, my credit's bad, and they're small business owners, but like, okay, are you cash flowing? Are you past your hardship? What's going on with why does your credit look the way it is, right? And if you're not
Mhm.
just solely a W-2 worker, I mean, if you're not just collecting a paycheck, but if you've got a small business, then cash flow is a big thing, and it's like a rubber band. It expands and contracts all the time, and a lot of times business owners are the first ones to stop paying themselves, right? Because you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to feed the baby, and business being the baby, right? And keep the machine going. And then, so if you stop paying yourself, then next thing you know, those credit cards or whatever, you don't have the cash flow to pay those. So I had seen all this. So, I progressed my service, to really being able to help entrepreneurs. I mean, obviously straight individuals I can as well, but a lot of entrepreneurs with, the credit, the accounting. And I've got a really super talented partner in the accounting side of my business. He's done a lot of tax resolution, helping folks actually in tax court as well.
Mhm.
And then, I can, I'm good with the tax returns, the bookkeeping. But I mean, the point is, though, I've got a really good, okay, so I've got a kind of the credit business and my accounting business. And really, so if you're listening and you're like, hey, let's say, I mean, you're not like in the credit repair space, right? But, you're just listening. I mean, if you've got financial issues, let's talk, or talk to Tamiya first. I mean, if she can handle you, cool. If not, she and I can lock arms and synergize.
No,
But
I'll pass them over to you. I'm I'm strictly credit, strictly
well, that's
credit.
what I'm saying. Go to Tamiya, and if you want to do the credit, and we work on the accounting piece of it. But point is we could work alongside Tamiya and help provide a full service solution, for your financial needs as an entrepreneur and a small business owner. And so yeah, I mean that's so if you've not filed taxes, we can get you caught up. And if you owe, we can work on getting some sort of usually an installment agreement, but some sort of a workout plan with the IRS. And then just kind of get you in maintenance mode, get you cleaned up. And it is always a battle though, Tamiya, when you're an entrepreneur, because every time tax time comes around, they're like, I haven't made those estimated payments, and gosh, now I've got to write this big ass check to the IRS.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So it's a
I'm going
constant.
through that right now as we speak. Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, if you guys go ahead, Tamiya. Yeah.
No, I was going to say thank you. That's good to know. And if you could also let everybody know how they can find you as far as social media is concerned.
Sure.
We will still display it, but if you could just verbalize it so we can, any contact information, Facebook, internet, YouTube, let us know.
Yeah, so I've got channels, if you can call them channels, whatever they call them on each one of those platforms. It's some version of my name down there, Stephen Palmieri, and you'll see my pretty face on all of them. But yeah, I mean, just type in Stephen Palmieri, give me some likes, some love, some subscribes. I'm trying to build my presence just like you, Tamiya. So would love to have you guys. Would love to have you guys in my social ecosystem as well. And if you want to reach out directly, Stephen at StephenPalmieri.com, StephenPalmieri.com. You can email me and just reach out to me. Would love to talk. I'll talk to anybody.
Excellent. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for finally connecting.
Well,
And
thank you for beating on my front door, Tamiya. You flew halfway across the country. That's what your fans need to know, right? To shake down this guest speaker appointment right here. But no, it's my pleasure, and hopefully this isn't our last time that we do this.
I'm sure it won't be. I think I'm part of like all your Facebook groups, so I'm sure it's not going to be.
There we go.
All
There we go. That's awesome.
Well, I'm going to wrap up now. You guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon.